0.52.
Nice.
That saves us $750 a month, but $149,000 over the life of the loan if we play on the mortgage company scale. But with Equity Max, that'll save us close to $220,000.
Nice.
That's just strategy. That's just having some people help you see some things that you can't see, because what you don't know hurts you every day. And the thing that I want to talk about today is what we call the banker's secret, because here's 3 of our 4 pillars actually impact the banker's secret and gives us an advantage if we know the secret. Now, what's the secret I'm talking about? They call it the 8th wonder of the world. No, you know, smart people study smart people. So Albert Einstein said that interest is that the people that understand interest make it, they earn it, but the people that don't pay it. And that's the simple strength of the banker's secret. Now I'm thinking about my degrees, Brian, engineering, electrical engineering, computer science. I had enough coursework that I could have gotten a triple major in math, but you know, they didn't teach this money math. They didn't teach it at Douglas High School. They didn't teach it at Duke University. Didn't teach it because it's new. This principle that I'm about to teach is over 4 centuries old. 400 years, a mathematician figured out a way to simply understand the power of interest and how to calculate its impact. And that's what I'm going to share. And it's simple. Do you want me to share the cheat sheet with the people in Zoom, or just go from the slides?
Pull the slide up on your screen so they can kind of so you can they can watch you fill the blanks in. I meant to tell everybody too, Richard, they're live. We live on the Facebook group so they can start their watch parties. I'm sorry.
Oh, shoot, I should have started my watch party.
Take your time. Go ahead. I'll buy some time, but you need me to?
Yep. Let me get started.
So guys, you can go ahead and have your watch party. What he's going to do in a second here, he's going to pull up a sheet for you guys, and then he's going to show you line by line how the bank really takes advantage of everything that we do. See, I want you guys always to remember this. Anytime you hear the word interest, a loan is involved. Write that down. Anytime you hear the word interest, a loan is involved. So what Richard's going to show you in a second here is how to get on the other side of the loan. See, the borrower is slave to the lender. That's biblical. So what we've done growing up our whole lives, we've been taught, oh, you can't get a student, you can't go to college? Don't worry about it. We give you a student loan. You can't get the car? Don't worry about it. We give you 72 months on the Honda. You can't get a mortgage, a house? Don't worry about it. We give you a mortgage. You need help with your monthly groceries? Oh, don't worry about it. You get a visa. See, your whole life, you've been taught that interest is okay. Here's what you guys have to remember. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own things in advance you cannot afford. Let me say that again. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own things in advance you cannot afford. What Rich is going to do here quickly, and then with some testimonies they're going to show you guys, is how he was able to take the interest back from the bank, how to actually become the bank, and now you make yourself wealthy instead of making the bank wealthy. You good, Big Rich?
I'm on. We ready?
All right, man. It's coming back to you. Let us know what you need to do.
Excellent. So here's what I want to do. I do want to make sure that we have some fun with today's conversation, because here's the thing. Here's the other trick that they played with us in school, Brian. They tried to teach us that money and math were not fun. But fun with this money. Now, let me see. Who are the first 3 screens that I see right here? So that's Lysandra. I'm going to give some people some money like right now. Lysandra, Al Tariq, and who is the next screen right there? T-Dub is not on the screen.
That's AQ. Percy's over there. Okay. Percy's over there too. Yep. Oh, T-Dub is there. T-Dub is there too.
Okay. So Lysandra, Al Tariq, and T-Dub, you guys are going to help me in calculating money using the banker's secret, but more important than using the banker's secret, turning that secret to our advantage so that we can do more things with our money. So for those of you that printed the document from the link, good. You can have a cheat sheet. You can fill this out as we go along. For those of you that don't, just write the numbers as we go, because the banker's secret is called the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72. Now, what the Rule of 72 is straightforward. It's simple. You take the number 72 and you divide it by the interest rate, and that's how long it takes your money to double. Now, obviously, knowing the interest works in our lives in one of 2 ways. If you owe somebody some money, interest is working against you. Your interest is somebody else's passive income. But if you have the money, interest is working in your favor. Interest is increasing the value of your money. Does that make sense?
That's right.
Sandra, Al Tariq, and is that T-Dub or AQ? Who am I looking at?
You're looking at T-Dub.
So T-Dub is gonna get the money. So each one of you, I'm gonna give you a gift. Everybody say Merry Christmas, baby. Matter of fact, I'm not giving you one gift, I'm gonna give you 3 gifts. And once you understand this, you will never look at saving, investing, or debt the same way again. I'm gonna give you $10,000. Everybody give it up. Y'all ready for $10,000?
Let's go.
$10,000, right? Second thing I'm gonna give you is a new birthday. Congratulations, you are now 29 years old. Is everybody over 29?
Yeah.
Okay, over 20. So here's the thing. Now, by the way, that's 2 things that most people don't have. How many of you know most 29-year-olds don't have $10,000? And if they had it, might kill.
Richard, the screen I see is your internet. What
you see my internet? Hang on.
Yeah, I thought you was about to do some old Duke stuff on me. The screen I see is your internet.
Let me show you the screen.
Like, he about to really show us something on this.
I'm gonna show you that later though. I'm gonna show you that later. Way later.
There you go. Go ahead.
That's later. That's when we get that's when we go from being upset to pissed off.
That's the pissed off screen. Go ahead. Nice.
We'll talk about that later. But today, we're gonna give you $10,000, 29 years old, and an interest rate. Now, Lysandra will give you 4%, right? $10,000. Now, here's the good thing. How many of you know it's difficult? Well, it's not even difficult. It's not possible to find a bank that will give you 4% return on your money right now, right?
That's right.
That's just not what they're doing in retail banking. That's what most of us were taught, was put our money in the bank. But imagine this. You take that money. Now, let's use the rule together. 72 divided by 4. Everybody get your calculator. I'll cheat ahead for you. I'll let you know that 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. So, Lysandra, if I gave you $10,000 and a 4% interest rate, your money doubles every 18 years. So if you're 29, you start off at 29 with $10,000. By the time you get to 47, now here's the good news. You don't have to invest anymore. You don't have to work anymore. You don't have to do anymore. It's passive income. Your $10,000 goes to $20,000 by age 47. And by age 65, you've got $40,000 when you started with only $10,000. Now, did you do well?
Nope.
Well, the reality is you did better than most. Statistics don't have $5,000 saved at age 65, so you got 40. But you know good and well you can't live the rest of your life on $40,000, not in any way. That's and right. Especially with inflation, we're actually, matter of fact, inflation doubles at the same rate as this. So it's how the money works. But now, Al Tariq, we're gonna give you a different interest rate. We're gonna give you 6%. 6%. How many of you understand already by math that he's gonna do a little bit better because of the interest rate?
That's right.
Matter of fact, type in the chat, what do you think he's gonna end up with? Don't do the math, just guess. He's got 2% more. You think he's gonna do 2% better?
Nah.
Well, now here's the reality. Most people actually think that. Most people think of percentages in simple terms the way that they see them, but compound interest is powerful because imagine, so 12 years from now, your $10,000 becomes $20,000. And then 12 years after that, when you're 53, your $10,000 has become $40,000. Now look at this. You got the same amount that Lysandra ended up with, but that's 12 years sooner. You still have one more cycle for that money to work. You end up with double the money, having only had a 2% higher interest rate. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Yes?
Yes, sir.
But let's do one better. Now, T-Dub, you ready? We're going to put the double digits on you. We're going to give you 12%. Now, at 12%, is everybody certain that she's going to make at least twice as much as Al Tariq?
You would think.
Because 80,000 still isn't enough to live the rest of your life. If you get to 65 and you're on 80,000, you're in trouble. But now imagine this, 29, when you take 72 and divide it by 12, that means your money doubles every 6 years. Everybody say every 6 years.
6 years.
Now that's a big flip, because now the money is working more and doing more in the period of time. So at 29, you start out at 10,000. Now count it with me. At 35, that's 6 years, 20,000. 6 years after that, at 41, he'd be at 40,000. I'm sorry. And then at 6 years after that, 47, 80,000. 12 owner already beat both Lysandra and Al Tariq at the 12,000. And now it's got momentum.
That's right.
Because that 80,000 at 53 becomes 160,000, then 320,000, then boom. Come on, T-Dub. Y'all give it up for T-Dub. T-Dub. She can do nothing but get on Zoom, and she messed around and made $640,000 on 10,000 initially invested with the right amount of interest. How many of you can tell there's a difference when it comes to money and math?
Huge difference.
But now here's the more important difference we got to be real with ourselves about. How many of you know there's not a bank giving us 6 or 12% interest?
That's right.
But we all know banks that make 6 or 12% interest. How many of you have a loan with an interest rate greater than 6 or 12%?
That's right. Any credit card.
And here's the thing that most people don't really think about. Banks, their real business is one thing. They loan money. You know whose money they loan?
Yours.
Our money. So they take our money, they give us the rates that they put on the street, and then they put our money, they go out, the process is legal. They call it arbitrage. But Brian, we from East Point, you know what they call it? That's flipping our money in the street. They take our money, they make a loan, a student loan, a credit card, a car note. They charge the 6, 12, or 24%. It's way more than this that people get charged in interest. So that even if you just look at these numbers, leaving your money, let's assume this number is the bank, the 4%. Leaving your money in the bank is a $1,000 decision. Meaning the bank loans our money 10 times. 10 times they get to loan our money. They make $600,000 more using this rule, and we pay and fund the biggest building in every major city in America. So the reason I get excited about sharing the banker's secret, because once a secret is revealed, if you know something, you can do something different. Does that make sense? Oh, and by the way, this is a theoretical example. Yeah, everybody give it up for our participants today. Give it up for Lysandra, Al Tariq, and for T-Dub. I want to make sure that people have in perspective, if you're really thinking about how money works in America, Brian, you know me, I'm a nerd, so that means I'm gonna do my homework, right?
That's right.
I went out and looked at every bank that I could start an account in Atlanta, Georgia from. There's 273 banks. Guess what?
Not one.
Anybody care to guess? Put in the chat, what do you think is the highest interest rate I can get on savings from any retail bank in America?
Shoot. You want to put it in chat? Okay, once I see some people say 7, Rich. Some people say 3. Some people saying 0.9, 1%. I see some 3s. Everything from 9% to 0.9, 0.1, Rich.
9% to 0.1. Let me show you this. From 1 to 23 in order. And this is as of today's rates for $10,000. We had $10,000 that we put in any of the banks in Atlanta, Georgia, any of the ones that I can get to a branch or online. The highest in the country today is 1%.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And they even tell you what you'll make on it. That $10,000 at 1%, you'll make $100 on your $10,000 all year long.
That's right.
And the bloodiest part, Brian, is the numbers go down from there. Like if you go through, I just kept scrolling until I saw my bank. You know that bank that rhymes with Bell's Cargo?
Yeah.
Man, it's all the way at the bottom of the list. 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.1. I just want you to understand, divide 1. If you divide 72 by 1, right? That's the best you can get at a traditional bank.
Yep.
That means that money's gonna double every 72 years.
That's right.
Won't have that kind of time to spend that, to waste that kind of money. But there's 2 aspects to our Financial Edge membership that help us on both ends of the banker secret. The first thing that we do is we got to get pissed off about letting the banks rent our money for this long and pay us this little. But more importantly, we got to get those interest payments coming back our direction.
There you
Because
go.
think about this. If in your life you have any debt that's at 6 and especially above 12%, that's families that aren't yours. So with Equity Max and Credit Max, we actually help people with two things. Number one, Credit Max boosts those credit scores. The higher your credit score is, the lower your interest rate is. We don't have time to play these ball-headed games and say my credit is okay where it is. We need to get our credit as good as it can be with professional help. But then the second part is Equity Max systematically goes in and attacks your highest interest debts so that you pay as little in interest as possible, because again, our interest payments are somebody else's passive income. Our student loans are putting somebody else's students through school. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't want to be the only one talking about the things that Equity Max and Credit Max have done for me. Is there anyone else? I mean, I know there's a lot of people on the line, but does anybody else have a testimony about what is done in terms of increasing your credit score, or Equity Max in terms of reducing the amount of interest that you pay over time?
Let me put them in a mode, Rich, so they can. So guys out there, anybody got a Credit Max or Equity Max testimony, so y'all can show what this man just displayed is happening to you. You becoming the bank. And Rich, you want to do some PRA later?
All right. Yes. Good evening, everyone. This is Gwendolyn Dotson here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm excited. I've been retired for 16 years, came down, my husband and I, and bought a home in 2005. And in 2005, that's when the houses were going in the balloon rate. People were losing their homes. But what MWR and what it has taught us, and I am so thankful, is that they gave me a plan. I uploaded my payroll that I receive and my additional money, and I'm retired, everyone. At first, I received $68. Today, I'm getting $85 extra back in my pay stub, okay? And I'm retired. My husband is getting additional $200. He gets his pension. He's getting ready to retire this year, next month. But what I love, I have a millionaire date. And Equity Max, the professionals, the experts, my millionaire date, I have no debt as of November 2020. My millionaire date to pay off my home, that was a 30-year loan. We are now paying our house off to 8 to 10 years. And my millionaire date is 2057. I am so thankful.
Nice. Y'all give her a virtual round of applause. Debt-free this year. And at the rate you going, just with your awesome job, Miss Gwen. Somebody else, Equity Max or Credit Max?
I got one.
Hold on. Go ahead. Look for the young lady that said I have one.
That would be Stephanie.
Stephanie, what's up, Stephanie?
Hey, you.
Talk to
That is not Stephanie, but that's okay.
Go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
Hey, you. So I uploaded my stuff and I was able to save 115 points on my credit. Well, not save, but increase my credit report 115 points. That put me in the 760 club, which is that close to 800. So it really was a benefit for me and my family.
Come on now, not 115. Now, how does it feel to be close to those 800s? You walk in the bank a little different.
Man, they can't tell me nothing. I can go and say, and I want that versus, well, I think you're qualified for it. No, I want that.
So, Stephanie, let me ask you a question. Did you get a chance to go back there with the cookies? You know, it's a different room for you now. You get juice and cookies. Okay.
Right, I'm hoping so. I'm waiting for them to start rolling out the red carpet. Like, you know what, Miss Stephanie's here.
That's right. Good job, Rich. What else you need, man? Equity Max, Credit Max.
One more Equity Max, and then we'll talk about banking, because I do want to make sure we're good to each other on time today.
I have an Equity Max.
Okay, who's that?
Me.
Morgan?
Yeah, yes, I can go ahead with my with my Equity Max testimony. Most of my debt, honestly, was student loans. And originally my creditors had me in debt until 2103, which is an additional 83 years, which is absolutely nuts. Once I put all of my debt into the calculator, the experts actually gave me a plan to be completely debt-free in January of 2027. So that shaved off 77 years in debt. It will save me $113,000 in interest alone, which is almost 3 times the amount of my debt. So compound interest definitely almost worked for them. And also I have a millionaire date now of January 2050 as well.
Nice. So you saying you would have, under your normal plan, you'd have been at the pearly gates with Sally Mae.
Oh yeah. My grandkids would have been paying that off, seriously.
Isn't that crazy?
It really is. Yeah, now my kids, before they even go to high school, I have everything paid off. So this program has been absolutely amazing to be able to learn how to take that debt and use that for my benefit instead of allowing it to be for my creditors' benefit.
Nice. Rich, that was awesome, man. Rich, let me unmute for everybody, man. Y'all give it up for all these testimonies, man. Audio.
Congratulations.
Take it away, man. Unmute yourself for me. I had to shut everybody up real quick. Hold on, one more time. There you go.
All right. So, and here's the thing. One of the beautiful things about Equity Max, and you heard a little bit about it. So if you're on the outside looking in saying, I don't know what they're talking about when it comes to these millionaire dates and all, debt-free in these time frames, just understand that every time you finance something in America, the creditor sets up a default plan. And here's what you got to understand about creditors. They are not benevolent beings. They are in business to make a profit. They didn't loan you that money. They loaned you that money because they wanted the interest.
That's right.
So understanding the creditor's plan head to head lets you look at everything, how much interest you're going to pay, and they calculate a way to make that as low as possible. And then they flip you to the positive side where it goes from interest working against you to interest working for you. And it lets you know at different investment levels how much money you'd be making if you had money making 3%, 6%, 12% or more, so that you're in a position to do better. But the second thing we got exposed is just that idea. We already looked at how much money banks are going to pay us for the money we have in the bank. Write this in your notes. There's a thing called retail banking. You know how you can tell it's a retail bank? They sell you retail products. If they'll set up an account for you and give you an interest rate, sight unseen, and put money in the account ahead of time, knowing they're going to make their money back on fees, how many of you think is the most asinine thing in the world that if you don't have any money in the bank, they take $35 extra from you? Or is that just me?
That's right. That's crazy. It's sick.
They put a fee on you having your money in the bank, and they're loaning the money out. So one of the things that we got an opportunity to do with WealthMax was really transform that relationship. Rather than putting our money in the banks, we got the opportunity to invest that banks invest in. So one of the concepts that was, it was a game changer for me. One of my favorite new investments this year was a private reserve account, because it was the first time, Brian, that I was actually able to put things together and be my own bank. And I actually have a good friend of mine. I think I saw him on the line. Did you see Dana Turnquest in the list of people here?
Yeah, I did see Dana. Dana, do me a favor. Let me put him in a mode where he can come off. And Dana, if you're out there, come off mute for us, big guy. Rich, unmute yourself again.
I'm here.
All right, cool. We'll find him. What you got, Rich? Set this up for him.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. I want to make sure that we compare and contrast a traditional bank versus what it's like to be your own bank with a private reserve account. And one of the talked about extensively is just understanding we already know what a traditional bank is and does and has our whole lives, and yet we are very loyal to them. Yes or yes?
That's right.
How many of you been riding with somebody and they point to the bank and say, that's my bank? It is your bank because they have your money and they're using your money to make that building. But here's what we have with the private reserve account is just a concept that's different from traditional banking. Now, it doesn't mean it's not powerful. As a matter of fact, wealthy families have been using this strategy for decades. It's not new. It's just something that's missing in the education. So Dana, I know when we were talking the other day about just the power of being the bank for your family, I just love the way that you shared that concept. I just want people to hear your voice and know. Now, by the way, Dana Turnquest, he's already, achieved multiple promotions with our company, is building a large business, but was an investor before he ever heard of MWR Financial. But what's more powerful is that once he started applying the concepts to the things that he was doing, he started pointing things out to me that I hadn't thought about in terms of what would happen if we went from taking our money to Wells Fargo as the bank versus being our own family bank. So Dana, would you share with everybody else out there what you were telling us in the huddle?
Listen, I appreciate you having me on tonight, brother. I've been following your lead since day one, so keep running. I'm gonna keep chasing you down, and we'll be at the top soon. And with Brian being at the lead, we can't fail. You know, you got with these two brothers ahead of me, I can't fail. So I'll keep chasing you guys, and I appreciate your leadership. The private reserve account was something that I had looked for, could not find it, because in order to find accounts like these, normally you have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank just for them to even talk to you. So the fact that we can access these accounts without being so liquid is amazing. Here's the cool part. Once you realize that insurance companies have more money than banks, and you can put your money into an account that's both tax protected and protected from the dips of the stock market, why wouldn't you do that? And once you put money in there and you can borrow against your own money, then you realize my money stays in there and keeps earning interest. I can borrow against it. And if my daughter, my son, if anyone needs a loan, instead of going to the bank down the street, they can come to Bank TurnQuest. We can set up our own terms. We can set up our own deal. We can put however we want, earn interest on our own money while our original money continues to earn interest from the market. So now our money is serving two purposes. The family is banking from the family instead of sending their money to Wells Fargo, whoever, Bank of America, what you name the bank. You do not have to use them if you can become your own bank. When I saw that option, my head almost fell off. I swear, that part alone keeps me up at night. And I'm a real estate investor, so I can use my own money to get more real estate, or I can loan money to other real estate investors. I can become a hard money lender from this PRA account. Listen, y'all, this could be a whole nother conversation. I'm gonna stop right there because this could be long and deep and serious.
Dana, we got about 209 people on here that can actually become their own bank. Can you believe when 200 of us get together and we become lenders with that principle?
Listen, that's generational wealth. That's how you change a community. That's how you change a culture. That's how you change a people. That's how you put people's families on the other side of money forever. This is not a trend. This has been happening for over 100 years, and we're just getting wind of it now. And now we're in the door. And just like Brian says, he gonna kick down the door, and I'm jumping in the window. So let's go. Let's
go, man. Y'all, this is incredible. Richard, great choice of yours to pick Dana to close this thing out, man. He's becoming a bank, and we're gonna show everybody tonight how to do it.
And by the way, for those of you that are curious, like this is one of the things that is the most exciting math. You think about the asset classes that we get to invest in through our wealth advisors with WealthMax. A private reserve account in an average year, we're averaging 7 to 11%. So those of you that are looking for double digit, no loss, private reserve account. This year, by the way, Brian, my WealthMax advisor locked me in at 12% in one account and 14% in the other for the year.
Come on, man.
Now, the equation that you saw on the other slide where we had money doubling every 6 years, that's real for us in what we do, making 1,000% more on the money in the private reserve than we are in the bank down the street.
That's right.
And land banking, average returns even higher than that. So investing, this is the thing that you say, but I like to remind people of it. If wealth is your goal, you've got to get to the place where your money's making money, because it can make money while you sleep. And that's what I got. I'm done. Matter of fact, let me let people know. This is only a little bit of what we do. And we got an immense pleasure later this evening is that we are in the midst of a corporate campaign to help people close out 2020 way better than they came in. And the company itself is doing all kinds of amazing things, paying people additional income above and beyond what they do, giving them the gift of joy and the opportunity to win big in the month of December. And we're having a full overview done this evening by the best of the best. Because here's the best thing about working with Brian B. How many of you know that a person that's done a thing can teach a thing?
That's right.
Because right now we're talking about double-digit returns on investment in terms of taking some money, $10,000, and getting 12 or 24% return on that investment. But imagine what it's like to take $228 and turn it into $50,000 a month. Well, that dude over there with the sweater collection is going to be talking about it later this evening. The sweater collection, the car collection, and the t-shirt collection. Brian Dean will be piloting our corporate overview along with the CEO of this company. You got to understand the size of what we're doing. We are solving $1 trillion problem. It's everybody you know has these challenges and does not have this education. As we teach and reach, they're just paying us for spreading the word. So I'm excited. Make sure to be on tonight at 9:30. Brian, matter of fact, I'll let you give the details, but make sure that we get in front of this thing so that all of those people that come around in 2021 saying next year, they know good and well anything you want to do 5 years from now, you should have started last year.
That's right. That's right. Hey, man, y'all do me a favor, man. Give him a visual round of applause. So I have to unmute everybody, but give him a visual round of applause, man. Great job. No. Better yet, I changed my mind. That's an audio. Y'all give him an audio round of applause, man. Great job, Rick.
Great job.
Amazing.
Easy.
Way to explain that.
Yeah, way to explain that, man. Good stuff, guys. We got to stop giving away $600,000 to the bank, and you get 40 when you can get the $600,000. So, man, listen, tonight I have been sequestered, if you will, to do the overview at 9:30. So we got about an hour and 15 minutes, guys. You want to make sure you visit MakeWealthRealLive.com. That's MakeWealthRealLive.com. Man, I've been very, very fortunate to turn $228 into not 100, not 200, not 300, not $400,000. Can y'all imagine that in 1 year? 100, 200, 300 plus in 1 year from 228. We're going to show you guys a framework at the end of this week called the Power of Infinite Returns, and how basically I'm on the verge of making 1,000,000% return on my money, and you guys can do the same thing. It starts tonight at 9:30. Imagine taking, if you raise your hand, if you took $228 and you made $2,000 a month, who would like that return? 200 becomes 2,000. Raise your hand if you would like $228 to become 20,000 a month, right? We got people that are on the verge of doing that this year, and they're starting off with a whole new wave of people like yourselves watching who they want to do that with in 2021. So listen, MakeWealthRealLive.com at 9:30 tonight. I'm going to bring some powerful testimonies. If you guys want to be on my testimonial list tonight, you want to speak, hit me in one of the Facebook chats. Just say, Brian, I'm ready tonight. Just say, Brian, I'm up tonight, or I'm ready tonight. And put the max that you want to speak on. I'll go into the Facebook chats and pull some of you guys in with me tonight at 9:30. I got an amazing co-host, and guess what I'm bringing with me as well? The Wealth Whisperer. That's right, the second young lady in the entire company to hit the regional director position. For those who are brand new, she's killing it in the business, and she's just getting started. She's going to be my success testimony tonight. So guys, MakeWealthRealLive.com. I'm gonna have a ton of testimonies. Hit me in the chat. Let me know which one you want to discuss, and I'll pull you guys in tonight. Hey, Rich, you rock, man. I'll see everybody tomorrow right here again. Password Cash Flow for yet another secret from the rules of the wealthy. Y'all have a good night, man. See you guys at 9:30. Peace.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Awesome job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
See y'all
Mandy.
around 9.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Richard
you all.
Hardon. Awesome
Great job.
presentation.
Thank you,
guys.
Richard.
Love you.